What's up, guys, and welcome to the Mike Sports Podcast Show. I'm your host, Mike. It's good to be back on the podcast. It's been a while. It's been probably 2 weeks since I've been on the podcast. Last week, missed the was on family vacation. In fact, with fall break, spent some time with the family out in East Tennessee in Sevierville for fall break. So that was fun. Good to be back home. Good to be back in Memphis. Uh, did not post or put out my college picks or NFL picks. And we'll see if we'll get to that later this week. But today, this podcast, I want to focus on two subjects that are kind of long overdue and that I've been holding on in my pocket, and that is the WNBA conclusion or summary of it. And I also wanted to talk about positionless basketball as we have already started the NBA season. Um, a fun start to the NBA season. Please like and subscribe to the podcast. Again, Mike dash 901, and also subscribe to GR Productions with Greg Rufus as he and I are um, talking everything NBA and everything Memphis Tiger basketball. So be looking out for that. We've done a couple of episodes already, and things are going. We've had some great dialogue and great conversation regarding basketball. Starting out, though, I want to quickly address just my thoughts on the whole gambling investigation involving Chauncey Billups and Rozier. Of course, Rozier, he was investigated by the NBA and was reinstated. And then Chauncey Billups, well known basketball player, point guard for Detroit Pistons, and was the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. They are now indicted for federal gambling or are just caught up in a gambling betting um, situation right now. And it's just a bad look for the NBA, especially the timing of it all, where we have just the start and the kickoff of the NBA season. We got Wemby going off. We got Jog, putting up 35 points in game one. We got OKC. We had a great game last night between OKC and Indiana. Uh, so many good things to celebrate, and it's kind of marred by this betting scandal, this gambling scandal, and scandal. It's really bad for the league. Not only that, I mean, the World Series, it starts tonight, and since everything since this news about the gambling has gotten out, there are videos circulating all over YouTube and Twitter and Facebook regarding like just things that seem odd or strange. Especially at the end of games, videos of teams, or it might be a player or or coaches or people looking to the sideline, people's reactions on the sidelines. Like people are really digging deep, trying to figure out or catch people or players that may participate or know of uh, gambling figures. Um, so it's just a really bad look, a really bad time for this to come out, and the NBA has a lot of explaining to do, um, especially with Rozier and getting him reinstated. But then the feds are coming right behind to investigate and indict and do further. But and I hate to start the podcast off on a negative note, but it's just a bad look. I mean, it can't really be swept under the rug or ignored. We know in baseball how bad betting in baseball is, gambling in baseball is. We all know what happened to Pete Rose. Will that same thing happen to Chauncey Billups? Will the same thing happen to Damon Jones or Rozier? Well, no, we'll let it play itself out because again, we're innocent until proven guilty. But it's just not a good look, not a good start. But other than that, outside of that, basketball has been great. The start of the NBA season has been awesome. Some awesome games. Again, on today's podcast, just want to talk about the WNBA. I know I'm kind of late as far as giving my kudos and congratulations. I'm normally on top of this, but it's never too late to highlight the WNBA and the accomplishments that they have made last season. So, want to congratulate the Las Vegas Aces and their championship run. Of course, the MVP, Asia Wilson, and just her box office performance and just her abilities as a basketball player, probably the greatest basketball player of all time. At least in my book, she's a phenomenal basketball player, and her team is a great team with a great coach. In the midst of the WNBA finals, though, the heat was turned up on the commissioner for her comments about WNBA players in general and what she figures to be the improvements that they've made to the league. But in reality, the players don't see it that way. Um, in reality, they really don't come close to what the players' demands are, and negotiations are at a mute point at this current time. We very well could be looking at a lockout for the WNBA season next year, even with the news of expansion and the news of raising the salary cap. They still seem to be a long ways apart. Also, officiating became a big topic during the playoffs. It really seemed like year after year, whether it's college basketball or the WNBA, officiating has been a major topic uh, as it relates to the outcome of games, how games are called. Everyone views the WNBA game, as a physical game, but it doesn't have to be. There are obvious calls, and then there are play on calls. And I think the WNBA players are primarily upset with the obvious calls that are not being called, and they kind of dictate the outcome of the game late in the game. And so there's been a lot of course, there were a lot of fines. There were coaches being thrown out of games because frustrations, are high, especially in the playoffs and in the finals. So it'd be interesting to see. going forward, how negotiations play themselves out. But as it relates to the WNBA and the future of the WNBA, the leadership overall, of course, Nafisa Collier um, looks like a candidate leader, a player leader in that respects. She's done a good job with uh, the 3-on-3 during the summer with Unrivaled, and definitely pays out more money than what the WNBA has to offer. But a notable league rival to the WNBA that is currently in consideration development is a new women's basketball league that has a strong possibility of being launched by Maverick Carter. He is LeBron's business partner, and this league aims to directly compete with the WNBA amid rising tensions in the WA regarding player salaries, labor issues, and the league management. This league seeks to offer new models of ownership, revenue sharing, and greater athlete accessibility, addressing long-standing criticisms about the WNBA structure and pay scale. While details are still limited, the new league timing capitalizes on WNBA labor unrest and the upcoming expiration of the collective bargaining agreement. It could become a strong competitor by potentially attracting key WNBA stars with better contract terms, including salary and equal equity shares. So this is the new rival potential to the WNBA. In addition to this upcoming league, there are other women's basketball leagues such as Unrivaled, which is the 3-on-3 league founded in 2023 by WNBA players Nafisa Collier and Breonna Stewart. The Unrivaled operates in the WNBA offseason, and it just provides an alternative, but it's not a direct season competitor to the WNBA. Pretty much, the Unrivaled, you make more money during the summer. You don't have to go overseas to make more money than you would normally in the WNBA. And then that's where Maverick Carter comes in. So Maverick Carter's league uh, is basically currently um, and primarily the most direct league rival to the WNBA. We don't know what the name of the league is going to be, what or structure, but they are positioning themselves to challenge the WNBA's dominance and push for better conditions for women basketball players. And this development is going to highlight a shifting power dynamics in women's professional basketball and potential increased competition for players and viewership. So, in order to change, for this new change to occur and to operate, I want to look at what the players are primarily asking for. And what the players are primarily asking for is fairness. During the All Star game, they wore shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us. Pay us what you owe us." A business model that can make a new women's basketball league viable involves several key components distinct from traditional men's sports leagues models. So this is completely new ideas for the women's game. So check this out. These components would pretty much flip the script as it relates to women's basketball and quite frankly make the league even better, more competitive, more appealing. Number one will be equity ownership and revenue sharing. Equity ownership and revenue sharing, which offers players equity stakes and profit sharing which aligns their incentives which with the league's success and can attract top talent by providing long-term financial benefits beyond salaries. Basically, ownership. You as a player, you have ownership. You have a stake in the team that you play for, um, which is great. Number two, competitive salaries and control costs. Higher player salaries are essential to lure stars. Gotta have the money. But cost control measures such as playing games in fewer venues, limiting travel, uh, help maintain financial stability. So I know one of the things that the players were saying was talking about back to backs, and there were mixed reviews in regards to back to backs. There were some that saying, you play back to backs because you love the game of basketball, and there were some that saying that back to backs can potentially lead to more injuries, and you're already um, have roster limited, so why have so many back to backs? And it could work both ways, but competitive salaries and control costs, it just needs to be looked at, and that is just one of the components that this new rival league to the WNBA, which Maverick Carter is putting together, uh, is looking to do is to have competitive salaries with control costs. Number three, strong media and sponsorship deals, which is very important. Uh, Securing a multi-year media rights contract uh, with traditional broadcasters and streaming platforms is crucial. It's critical. Additionally, adding large, stable sponsorship partnerships with brands eager to invest in women's sports ensures steady revenue. So, seeing the women's game on Peacock, Amazon, Netflix, um, I don't know, Tubi, Pluto, all over different media streams only broadens the game, makes it more appealing. Ion is another one of them, another one. Uh, but those partnerships are crucial, and we already see shoe brands coming into play, like Puma and Reebok, and of course Nike, Jordan. They've always been there, but they're gravitating to the women's game and to the all stars of women basketball, and now they have their own shoe. We look at Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Nafisa Collier, Asia Wilson. They're getting the sponsorships that are long overdue, uh, and they are profiting off of it. Number four is the digital and social media engagement. So, cultivating a robust social media presence and community engagement is vital um, to build a more dedicated fan base beyond just television and viewership. Innovative branding and fan interaction uh, sets the league apart from what they're currently doing and what other um, their male counterpart leagues are doing. Innovative branding, fan interaction uh, can differentiate the league in the crowded entertainment landscape. How do we get more girls playing basketball? How do we get them excited about the game? How do we get them um, playing at a younger age so that the game can continue to grow and improve and get better. The fifth component is fan experience and accessibility, designing the league experience, including faster paced gameplay or novel rules, and engaging fans closely through tours or events in underdeserved markets help deepen loyalty and broaden the audience. We want to see amped up physicality. We don't want to see amped up physicality and bad officiating and no calls on obvious fouls. Basically, we just want to see a better officiating product on the floor, better product in general on the floor. We want to see better shooting. This not only these components are just some of the things that are behind the scenes, but truthfully, I mean the WNBA, the players themselves, they have to put in a lot of work to improve their game also. So and that on and off the court. So, during the off season, it'd be great to hear and see WNBA players involving doing like summer camps or doing tours and things of that nature. It was going to require a lot of work for them, just as it does the men's game. The NBA game where you have several all stars doing uh, international trips as well as local trips. Local events and local kid camps, things of that nature. Seeing that in the women's game also. The final component is independent identity and vision. Independent identity and vision, which is basically building a league by women and for women. With the leadership invested in women's sports, it creates a cultural shift toward valuing women's leagues as assets, not as adjunct to men's leagues. This empowerment attracts investors and fans alike. Basically, showing the same equality that you would to the men, to the women, you know, being fair. A lot of it is just simple listening to what the women want and then providing what they need to be successful in order to achieve all of these things. Excuse me. So, whether it's more teams, deeper rosters, um, whatever the women need, the WNBA, Maverick Carter and his group, they have to be able to accommodate those needs and those wants in order for women's basketball to continue. So examples like the Unrivaled League, which is just a small sample size, excuse me, they raised $35 million. They offer player equality, equity, and secure partnerships with major brands and media. They show a model combining equity, incentives, cost controls, media deals, and strong branding. Excuse me. However, their long-term viability depends on TV ratings and sponsorship renewals and community growth and continued innovation in fan experience. So even though Unrival is great, it's only just a small sample size of what the women want. And is it sustainable? Absolutely. It can be for just a short period of time. But if you want something long lasting, um, this rival league that the Maverick Carter Group is trying to develop to rival the WNBA, this is what they're looking to do. So, in summary, a viable business model for a new women's basketball league integrates competitive player compensation with equity control, operational costs, multi platform media strategies, strategic brand partnerships, and a fresh, uh, inclusive cultural approach to ownership and league identity. This model it positions the league to build a loyal fan base and compete sustainably in the evolving sports entertainment market. And I hope to see this happen. I really do. I want to see the WNBA grow and improve because there is so much talent in the women's game that is untapped. There are a lot of women that are good enough to be on rosters that simply were not on rosters. And even though, there's talk about the expansion, um, there could be more. There could be more expansion to the game of to women's basketball. So I hope that this continues, and I just don't have any confidence under the current WNBA leadership model that I just don't see um, them following the current leadership, and I see this rival group with Maverick Carter Group as a rival to the league, and so just keep your ears open and keep your eyes open for some big changes in the WNBA. It could take a year, could take 2 years to get everything set up. But we'll see. I'm very curious to see how negotiations will go. It's kind of unpredictable. Will they make a deal with the WNBA? Will they come together to make a deal, or will they side with a rival league to the WNBA? It's going to be a hot, interesting summer, and so definitely a lot to look forward to. Now to my next topic, which is positionless basketball. Um, Decided to talk about positionless basketball because number one, it's not new. Positionless basketball has been pretty much on display for years, in particular in college, I would say more than anything else. But positionless basketball is becoming more and more, the term I would say is becoming more and more used in the NBA game. Uh, but it's a fun brand of basketball as opposed to the traditional starting five where you have your point guard, your shooting guard, your small forward, your power forward, and your center. Uh, each one of those positions had defined roles, but in positionless basketball, we're talking about your, you know, your power forward being maybe a stretch forward, and instead of hanging out by the block or in the paint, he's at the 3 point line. He's kind of spread out, or your stretch four or point forward is your small forward. He might bring the ball up. Your point guard might be a scoring guard or a combo guard. Your center might not even be on the floor at all. He's no longer. We don't see centers today, like down in the paint, banging for position. There no more. We no longer have Zach Randolphs and Mark Gasols and Pau Gasols in the league anymore. Um, Now it's Wemby, it's Dirk, and it's LeBron. Um, it's the Steph Currys and Kevin Durant's. They have literally changed the game and how it's played and how you can win games. You can win with a small lineup. You can win with a big lineup. And so we've kind of already seen that with the start of this NBA season. So this season, I I just expect it to ramp up. So this NBA season it's going to be fun to watch. It has been fun to watch because just of the different styles of play, speed, size, length, just non-traditional styles is going to dominate the storylines this year. Pace of play, spacing, all those things are going to play um, a role in our viewership and just the entertainment factor of the game of basketball. It's going to be a positionless game. The era of positionless basketball is here. Positionless basketball, again, it's just simply a modern style of basketball play where traditional roles and positions, like I said, the point guard, the shooting guard, the forward, the center, are no longer fixed. No more boring basketball. It's going to be running up and down the floor. Instead, all players are expected to have versatile skills such as shooting, passing, dribbling, defending, regardless of their size. We're going to have fours guarding ones, threes in the five spot. This approach emphasizes players' ability to perform multiple duties on the court. So it creates more of a dynamic, fluid, and fast-paced game. And not only that, it's going to be a fast-paced game, but it also could be an ugly game too. Um, a whole lot of ill-advised shots, a lot of early shots in the shot clock. I expect to see a lot of that uh, in this era of positionless basketball. But this style has evolved notably over the past decade. It's nothing new. When you got players like Nikola Jokic, who is a center who's functioning as a playmaker, or Steph Curry, a guard who dominates without a strict positional role. It's an exemplifying trend in the NCAA and in the NBA. Players now, we see Draymond, we see Trey Young. As soon as it, crosses the 3 point, the half court um, line, uh, they're almost a guarantee or in range to make the shot. Luca, guys like that, they're in range to make that shot, and it's entertaining when they make it. Of course, you have coaches and you know they'll say it was a bad shot, but that's just how good and how well skilled those players are and how well they work on their craft. But positionless basketball it just creates uh, and increases offensive versatility and defensive flexibility, allowing teams to switch defensive assignments, easily create mismatches on offense by exploiting players' diverse skills. The style also fosters a team oriented game with a focus on ball movement, space, and varied lineup options, like I said, small ball. However, it presents challenges like rebounding, difficulties when all players spread out on offense. Shoot a 3-pointer, it's going to be a long rebound. So, there's going to be a lot of scrambling. It's going to be a lot of players jumping into the stands for loose balls, a lot of scrapes, a lot of diving on the floor. We saw a lot of that, just physicality um, of the game when we watched OKC and Indiana. So we're gonna start seeing those things um, at the youth level as well. Not even, I mean, not only in college but also in the AAU in high school. They're gonna be doing the exact same thing, and we gotta prepare ourselves for more injuries, more injuries, more ankle injuries, leg injuries. Um, we just got to be aware of that. At the youth level, the emphasis is on developing all around skills for every player rather than assigning fixed roles. That's what positionless basketball is. Preparing them for the evolving nature of the game. If you're 6'11, 6'10, we're going to teach you not only to rebound and block shots, and we're going to teach you to shoot the three. We're going to teach you to shoot the mid range. We're going to spend a lot of time ball handling, playing the role of a point guard, basically. But positionless basketball, like I said, it's entertainment, and it offers several key benefits and then drawbacks for those teams. So let's look at the benefits of positionless basketball first. One, the increased versatility and flexibility with players capable of playing multiple roles, making teams harder to defend and allowing more creative strategies and lineups. Two, improved ball movement and spacing on the floor, which creates more open shots and scoring opportunities. Number three, better matchup advantages by exploiting mismatches such as quicker, smaller players against slower defenders or skilled bigs facing smaller opponents. So we look at Wemby, who it really doesn't matter who he's up against. We see his ball handling skills and what he's able to do on the court. We see what Shea is able to do when they switch out a big in the pick and roll to guard him. He breaks it down, drives to the basket, or he shoots the mid range jumper, or they just look for the switch. What small guard is matched up with a center type or a power forward type that can easily score down low. So the better matchup advantages by exploiting the mismatches, uh, smaller players against slower defenders, skilled bigs, facing smaller opponents. Development of well-rounded players who can shoot, pass, dribble, defend multiple positions, improving basketball IQ and team cohesion. Um, that's critical. It's critical. That's the only way you're going to pretty much secure the bag in NBA on the NBA team. So more playing time and engagement for players due to their diverse skill sets and offensive options. Uh, the more skilled you are as a player, the more you'll see the floor. And I think under the right coach, under the right in the right team, and in right leadership, you may be able to get away with not being if you're big, not being able or efficient enough to shoot the three or shoot the mid range. Maybe your strength in your role is simply rebounding, doing the utility work, and not looking to score. Most of the time, I would say more so in the college game, those are the difference makers if you're going to win a championship or not. If we're going to win a game, it's normally the guy that has the least amount of points, uh, but has the most rebounds or has the most blocks. The team or the players that have a lot of discipline and just play with the fundamentals uh, are the teams that are the most successful. The drawbacks, though, to positionless basketball are, the challenges in the rebounding and defensive positioning as a spread out five perimeter formation can lead to giveaway in offensive rebounding and vulnerability near the basket. So, more offensive rebounds, again, possibly even more injuries, more head injuries, uh, more reviews for flagrant fouls is a possibility when we talk about uh, the difficulty in rebounding in positionless basketball. Um, Another drawback could be the potential mismatches against specialized opponents due to lack of traditional positional training. Everybody's not going to fall in line with positionless basketball. You're still going to have those teams that are going to play a traditional style, and they're going to go up against a positionless basketball cultured team, and they're going to struggle. It's going to be difficult. It's interesting when those two teams come together. It could be an ugly game. It could be it could be a good game. But the trend today is positionless basketball. It's speed. It's getting up and down the court. It's bigs shooting threes. It's point guards not distributing but looking to score. Playmakers, pretty much. Overall, positionless basketball boosts creativity, adaptability, and player development, which requires teams to compensate defensively and in rebounding through strategic positioning and technique. Uh, it presents a fundamental shift, uh, requiring coaches to make adjustments to maximize the benefits and minimize the weaknesses. We see this during the playoffs all the time, where you get enough tape on the players and the coaches' tendencies, and you're able to exploit them. Several NBA teams have already succeeded with positionless basketball, positionless lineups, embracing versatility over traditional roles. Uh, Look at the Golden State Warriors. I guess we can call them the pioneers. Well, I wouldn't even call them pioneers. They did not originally start positionless basketball, but they have perfected it. Uh, Look at their death lineup that they had Draymond Green at the center position as a playmaker, while sharpshooters Clay and Steph dominate the perimeter. So, you have Draymond, who is 6'5", but plays the four. He's essentially playing the point guard position. And not only that, he's your best defender. When traditionally you would say he should be maybe a small forward uh, that can just stretch the floor or sit out at the wing, at the 3 point line, and you know do utility work, maybe guard the best player on the opposing team. We see Draymond do and play a variety of roles, which makes him a great player and potentially Hall of Famer in the league. But you got to look at coaching too, and we got to give you got to give Steve Kerr his flowers in that respect. Uh, they were able to win multiple championships by emphasizing spacing, ball movement, and switching on defense. Another team is Miami Heat under Mike Spokes in 2012. They exemplified positionless basketball with LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Shane Battier, all playing multiple roles across the court. Their success was highlighted the value of players who can guard multiple positions and switch seamlessly on offense and defense. So, not everybody, of course, is going to be capable of doing that. You got to have a special scout team that's able to identify players that can seamlessly uh, switch defensively, uh, on offense and defense, and know their role on the team. More recently, let's look in our own backyard. The Memphis Grizzlies, they've been recognized for a highly dynamic positionless style where all players can handle, pass, shoot, rebound, and defend, emphasizing speed and team versatility over set plays. We need Ja Morant to run up and down the floor, initiate the offense, get plenty of paint points, and and play more like Allen Iverson, a scoring point guard, and everyone else to pretty much follow suit. I will, we need Jaren Jackson, Triple J to play like Rasheed Wallace and Kevin Garnett. Uh, when we drafted Zach Edey, a lot of people had questioned where his what his role would be, um, but how would he fit in a positionless style of basketball? And I think he benefits us greatly in respects to rebounding, block shots, and we have seen him from time to time shoot that 3 pointer. It's something that he has been working on, or at least we see him practice it. A couple of other teams, the Atlanta Hawks and the Dallas Mavericks, in past seasons, they've shown effective use of lineups where traditional positional distinctions blur, relying on skill, adaptability, and floor spacing. They those two teams they spread the floor basically. We see the Dallas Mavericks experimenting with Cooper Flag right now, running the point. I'm not sure how well that's going to work, but they're trying it out with a big lineup. The same with Houston. They're trying it out with a big lineup. They have Kevin Durant at the two position. Um, when I believe when he started his career, he was playing primarily the three, and in I believe Brooklyn and Phoenix, I think he was playing primarily somewhat like the four spot. That's not traditionally what you would normally see at the four spot. But that was the role and the position that Kevin Durant played. And I think, when we think of college basketball, the players are not as advanced skill wise to play that role. So not everybody can play that role where the four man um, is 6'11" that can dribble. I have yet to see a 6'11" 7-footer bring the ball up in a college basketball game. But we see that all the time in the NBA game. So I think we'll eventually see it in college basketball, but those are just some of the teams that are playing that style. Um, again, like teams like Golden State, Miami, the Grizzlies, the Hawks, the Mavericks uh, have successfully used positionless lineups to create matchup advantages and increase offensive creativity and improve defensive switching, which has become a defining strategic trend in the NBA. I think we can also probably add OKC to that mix as well, because I believe Lou Dort. Look at him. Sometimes he plays the four spot, and Chet sometimes plays the five. You know, under a new team, Chet might Chet Holmgren might play, the three, and that actually might be his position, his set position. He might not be comfortable playing the four because the opposing team might have a bigger, stronger guy. So positionless basketball makes the game just interesting. So players that best exemplify positionless roles in the past, of course, uh, Nikola Jokic, LeBron James, Giannis. Let's look at Joker. Joker is a 7-foot center. Um, can pretty much do it all: rebound, assist, block, all those things. Playmaking. He's a playmaker. He functions as a point center. He orchestrates the offense while handling the traditional center duties and rebounding. Look at LeBron James. He epitomizes the point forward role, which blends scoring, playmaking, and defensive versatility across multiple positions. Giannis. How many times have we seen Giannis bring the ball up from pillar to post and from end to end, just takes it to the back, uh, bring the ball up, and ends up with a dunk or a trip to the free throw line. He has the ability to guard all five positions, facilitate the offense, score inside, defend on the perimeter. And he exemplifies positionless versatility as well. And I mean, another thing about Giannis is that I think when he first came in the league, he was shooting threes. Of course, he was a lot slimmer then, but we saw him shoot threes a lot, or at least shooting the three ball, attempting to shoot the three ball a lot. But now he's not doing it that much. The same with Luca. I mean, Luca, he was a whole lot slimmer. He was doing a whole lot more things, but Luca was, man, he was doing Euro steps and dunking. He was doing all kinds of stuff. He's still doing that a little bit now, but he's not dunking as much. But um, look at Steph Curry for his shooting and ball handling that defied the guard label. Draymond with his playmaking and floor leadership. These players, they have showcased their skill, their diversity, their role fluidity. They define positionless basketball, and so they reshape how team builds strategies and lineups in the NBA, and that's why they are going to be Hall of Famers. Overall, positionless basketball represents a significant shift from traditional basketball philosophies, and they emphasize adaptability, skill diversity, and strategic spacing um, to optimize team effectiveness and excitement in the game of basketball. So we're talking about advancing the game and just being 100%, keeping it real. The world is catching up to the United States. They are starting younger and younger, playing older competition. They're starting playing pro ball, and they're coming to the U.S. and they're dominating even in college because they're able to adapt to the coaching and to positionless basketball. So, uh, from a world point of view, we'll talk about the Olympics, Team USA. That's something we need to look out for and not be surprised by, and not even criticize some of our American born players, even though they should be doing the exact same thing. But just the advancement of the game of basketball, positionless basketball is here, y'all, and it's something that we should all embrace. All coaches are going to have to embrace it if they're going to win games. If they're going to be in contention for championships, your five better be able to shoot the three. Your five or your four man, yeah, he's going to have to defend a one or a two if they're going to see the floor or if you're going to have a chance to win the game. It's just the way of the world right now in the game of basketball. Um, so that's what I have for today. Just thinking about the game, just my thoughts uh, on the WNBA and on positionless basketball. Um, got more podcasts on the way, but if you like this podcast, like, subscribe, share. Please comment. I like interaction. Uh, share your thoughts, what you think about positionless basketball. And, let's talk about it. Let's be interactive. Again, subscribe to my podcast, Mike Sports Podcast, Mike dash 901. Um, and also follow us on GR Productions and we talk about everything NBA, Memphis Grizzlies, and the Memphis Tiger basketball team. Memphis Tiger basketball, the exhibition game versus Arkansas is coming up next week. I don't have the exact date in front of me. I want to say it's the 28th, but it benefits St. Jude. And I believe it will be televised on ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. But just be on the lookout for that. And shout out to the Memphis Tiger basketball team as they prepare for this coming season. Wish them health and much success. That does it for me for right now. Be looking out for my college picks and my NFL picks as we are in the thick of the college football season and the NFL season as well. Peace out. Talk to you next time.